I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes. They gonna take it.
You want me to get out of hell?
I've been sad doing this.
I filled it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm ready to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. I am Davey Dollars. Man, it's a great day. It's Thursday. You know, we got some really good topics to talk about today. But before we get started, I got my guy Joe with me today, and we got two guests. We got CTC's own Carl and Full Timeout and ESPN analyst from in Minnesota, AJ. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Feeling pretty good.
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good, feeling refreshed, ready to have a good show.
Hey, same. Refresh is a great word. I feel the same way. I'm just happy we taking some chat debates to the show. You know, I'm just ready for it. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's good too. It's good to see that we have some Eagles fans that are still alive right now. So you know, good to see that you guys are doing okay.
Hey, y'all got me after an L. I said, you know, it don't happen often, but your boy is present. So, you know, we here.
No, Tomo, he did well. He did well.
I actually do, which is crazy. I didn't even think about that. It's all good. It's all good.
But you got I see you got a white shirt under that, so it's not all.
Yeah,
right, so, you know.
Right, exactly.
I tried to save you, but you know, you set yourself up a little bit.
That's funny.
But today's going to be a great show. We got some really good topics to talk about. We are streaming live right now on 3 different platforms. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. If you're on X, make sure you like, repost it. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We got some, like I said before, we got some really good topics today. Shout out to all the shows on the network. FFC was live today. Then we had RBO that also had a show today at 3:15. If you didn't see it, make sure you go back and go look at it. We got to talk about the Chiefs and Bills. You know, what's going on with these two teams. We got a rivalry game happening Sunday night between the Cowboys and Eagles that definitely has some first place complications in this. So we got to see what's going to happen in that game. And I know we talked about this before, but after Sunday, we have to have the conversation again. Who leads the league? Who's ahead of the MVP race right now in the NFL? So we got to see what's going on. And when, of course, we got a game tonight, so we got to, you know, even though the over and under is 30, we still got to talk about the game between
30 picks or 30 points.
30 points.
Right.
We still got to talk about the Patriots and Steelers. So let's make sure that we have a great show today. It's Thursday, so what we do on Thursday is we turn up before the show starts.
Turn me up, 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 up.
And now we're going to go ahead and get started with some of these. With the first topic, make sure that you enjoy the show today because we got some really good things going on. So, Joe, go ahead.
Let's get it. All right, man. I'm going to give my best Tomo's impression. I'm just playing. But look, though. So the first topic we got to talk about the Chiefs and the Bills, all right? They play this weekend, and we know the rivalry they got going on the past few years with Mahomes and Josh Allen. And the Bills are 6-6, hanging outside of the playoff picture. And then the Chiefs, usually, ever since Mahomes been in as a leading quarterback, number 1 seed in the ALC, home field advantage, Right now, they are number 3 I believe 3 or 4. Right, number 3. So the question is, what is more likely to happen? The Bills missing the playoffs, or the Chiefs not getting that number 1 seed? All right. Or you can flip it like Bills making the playoffs or the Chiefs getting the number 1 seed. So, Carl, we know you are, LJA member and a Mahomes lover. All right. So let's start with you.
Talking about, hey, before I start, hey, AJ, I don't know. We in this together, big
Yes,
dog.
sir. We here with it.
I'm here with my brother. Feel me? So, but yeah, I think you said most likely to happen. Oh, my bad. Rephrase the question.
However you want to write. I guess we can do
most likely to happen.
All right,
Bills make the playoffs or the Chiefs be number 1 seed.
So I think the Bills are more likely to make the playoffs than the Chiefs are to get in the number 1 spot. And y'all know why. If you paid attention to my picks before the season, I had Baltimore getting that number 1 spot. And that's because my dog got improved weapons, not weapons, but improved weapons. And we got a tough defense. We play all 3 phases of the ball because John Harbaugh is a special teams coach. At heart, he was a special team coordinator in Philly. So I don't think the Chiefs will get the number 1 seed. I think my Ravens get that. I think Josh Allen and the I'm sorry, Tomo. I think Josh Allen and the Bills do get the playoffs before the Chiefs make the number 1 seed. I understand that Josh Allen is throwing picks like gifts. It's Christmas time and Josh Allen handing out gifts. But don't think that's sustainable. I think the Bills do win enough games to get in. The Bills at 6-6 are still a really good team. If Josh Allen can stop throwing interceptions, I think they can go on a win streak. You have the Steelers that's right there at 5 or 6 with Mitch Trubisky starting for the foreseeable future. So the Steelers can drop out. You have the Colts and the Texans there at 7-5 as well. But who knows if they sustain this. I know the Texans are 8 and the Colts are 7. You also have the Browns there at wherever the Steelers were, so 5 or 6. Wherever the Steelers are, the Browns are like above them, I believe. But they too are using backup quarterbacks. Now that defense for the Browns is strong, really strong. I wouldn't say best ever like somebody that's been on the show, but they're really strong. But can they sustain them enough wins to keep that playoff berth is a question. Now, so for that being said, I think the Bills can sneak in.
Y'all want me to go? Okay, cool. Yeah, I gotta respectfully disagree with you, Carl. Just because I don't know what to expect from Josh Allen. I don't know what to expect from him going forward. We could get good Josh Allen where he's taking care of the football, making plays, throwing the ball downfield, running, using his legs, or we can get Josh Allen that's selling these games down the stretch. I just don't have much faith in the Bills. I respect their talent level. They have a lot of talent. The defense does make plays occasionally, but I don't really know what they expect from them either. So I just look at the Bills. I look at the schedule coming up. They got some tough opponents obviously coming up. They play the Chiefs pretty soon here. They got Dallas after that. Y'all know how I feel about Herbert, but they got to play the Chargers. And then they play the Dolphins at the end of the year. I don't think they make it. I'm not 100% confident that the Chiefs are going to get the number 1 seed either because they look suspect. In all honesty, they don't look like the same Chiefs of last year. If we're being brutally honest, the defense has done a lot of carrying. The offense has been hit or miss, stagnant, really good in the first half, so in the second half. Maybe they score in the second half, maybe they don't. But I give them a better chance given their history and given the fact that they have Patrick Mahomes to get the number 1 seed. And then on top of that, when you look at the Ravens' upcoming schedule, the Ravens got one of the hardest schedules coming up too. The Ravens play, they're going to beat the Rams. They're going to handle the Rams. So then they got Jacksonville, who's competing for a solid playoff spot. They got the 49ers, they got the Dolphins, and they got the Steelers, and they struggle with the Steelers. So I don't really know how the Ravens are going to finish either, in all honesty. So grand scheme of things, I think that the Ravens can pull it off and get that 1 seed. But who do I give the better chance to as far as, the Chiefs getting the 1 seed or the Bills make the playoffs? I have more faith in the Chiefs getting that 1 seed, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, than I do have faith in Josh Allen. I just can't do it right now.
Before the next person go, AJ, chill out, bro. No game is guaranteed. We are not automatically beat the Rams, bro. Chill out. We're not putting that in there. Because we get upset. You have people on my line.
I feel you. I'm just saying, you know, I got them winning that game. They could lose. It's the NFL, you know what I'm saying? But I would pick the Ravens to win that football game.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. We agree on everything, AJ. Everything you said, I pretty much feel the same exact way. I got way more faith in the Chiefs to get the number 1 seed than I do with the Bills making the playoffs right now. Right now, the Bills are not number 7. They're not 8th. They're like 10th in playoff seedings right now. Josh Allen has not played well this year. He leads the league in touchdowns, but he also leads the league in interceptions. You know, someone else did that, or someone else had a lot of touchdowns and a lot of interceptions. You know who his name is? It's Jameis Winston. And Josh Allen is playing pretty Jameis Winston-esque, just as far as the interceptions. Now, I mean, of course, it's not the same amount of touchdowns he has, but it's like when the games get tough, it seems like he's just making mistakes out there. And then, like you said about the Chiefs have a top 5 defense. I don't think Joe. I know I said this before, Joe. I know you said that this would be the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had in his career so far. And that has been the case. But I don't know if anyone truly thought that this would be a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. And this defense has been playing really good. I don't see a scenario to where the Texans lose a lot of games and miss the playoffs. I don't see a scenario where, I mean, the Steelers definitely have opportunities, can lose games, but you still got the Browns that are there. The Browns, you know, they've been up and down without having Deshaun Watson, but they still been in games because of their defense. Same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers and Browns have a better defense than the Bills do overall. So I'm going to go with what I've known for sure and seeing happen more. Now, I also believe that the Ravens will get the number 1 seed. But if I'm going to pick between the two, I would rather say that the Chiefs get the number 1 seed and the Bills miss the playoffs.
All right. So look, don't sleep on the Dolphins. Don't sleep on the Dolphins.
That was gonna be
all right. So I'm gonna say that. But anyways, I'm with you, AJ. I'm with you, Dave. Now look, here's the tough part. Now, I think that even though they lost to the Eagles, they were playing good football. You know, I think what stopped them, what hindered them was a lot of all those penalties. But they was playing some good football against Philly. But they just got a tall hill to climb. They are 11 plays right now. Who's above them? Cincinnati, who beat them. The Broncos, who beat them. Then you have the Houston and Indiana, in Indianapolis, the Colts. But here's the thing, though. You look at their schedules. So we all know they got to play the Dolphins still. They still got to play the Chiefs this Sunday, right? So, but you look at the Texans. So the Texans got to play the Jets, the Titans, which is a division game. So I understand how tough that could be. They got to play the Browns. They kind of beat each other up, right? The Titans again and the Colts. So those teams are like kind of putting each other out. You know, the Colts and the Titans. But then you look at the Broncos schedule. You got the Lions, Patriots, Chargers, Raiders. You know, so it's tough. You know, it's a tall hill to battle. But the Ravens got a tough schedule. The Tua and the Dolphins, they already lost a tiebreaker to the Chiefs. So they take one more L and the Chiefs win out, they're going to lose that one. And just like you said, AJ, Mahomes' history, I feel like no matter what happens, it always lines up for the Chiefs to get to first place. You look at last year, they were about to lose first place. And what happened? The Damar Hamlin situation. And then they automatically get the first place nod. You know, so I'm going to say more likely the Chiefs will get first place versus the Bills making the playoffs.
Can I rebuttal?
You know, I still think they make the playoffs still, though.
All right, here's my rebuttal, right? Y'all bring up our schedule. And it's tough. It is tough. You know, Rams, 49ers, Dolphins, Steelers. You say we struggle. I just say a lot of crazy crap happens. But tomato. And I believe, I can't remember our last one. Jaguars. Jaguars. I said 49ers. But the Jaguars may be without Trevor Lawrence for a decent amount of time. The Rams, we could, Maddie be throwing picks too, so we can force a couple of them. We'd be looking good. Ravens
out too, right? Ain't he hurt?
Oh, I ain't even know that.
Didn't he hurt last game?
Who?
I ain't know Puka.
The receiver from the Rams. What's his name? Nakua?
Nah, he's fine.
He's
fine.
I mean, I ain't risking no injury, but
it was
crazy.
Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is the one that got hurt. He's fine, but he's
you
know, Puka's fine.
that sucks for them. 49ers, that's always a dogfight with the Ravens. I understand the 49ers are a really good team, but hey, we got our thing loaded over here in Baltimore too. Then we got a Steelers with maybe a Kenny Pickett-less Steelers, which last time the Steelers didn't have Kenny Pickett, we won, and we didn't have Lamar. And the Dolphins, which, man, we should have beat the Dolphins last year. We don't have Marcus Peters this year, taking dumb gambles, leaving Tyreek Hill open. We don't have that this year. So hopefully we finish that game. So, hey, just like AJ said about the Eagles with their gauntlet, they got to see us just like we got to see them. The Dolphins, their schedule is not bad either. Our schedule is bad, but let me not say either. Their Dolphins schedule, Titans, who's been dramatically playing bad football. The Jets, they were contemplating Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. The Cowboys, which that's the battle of who can be the winning team, right?
No,
then the Ravens, which has already been discussed, and then the Bills, but it's in Miami.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins could very well win out and keep the number 1 seed. I hope they don't. I hope they lose to us. And now we talk about the Bills being an 11th seed, right? But they're a game behind everybody with the 11th seed. They're only at the 11th seed because, like Joe brought up, the head-to-heads. They lost the head-to-heads to the Broncos, and they lost the head-to-head to I just had it in my head. The Bengals. But the Bengals just lost. I mean, they didn't just lose them, but Joe Burrow's out. The Broncos, they lost. Could that ruin all their momentum? We don't know. Like you said, the Colts and the Texans will eventually have to play themselves, so that can knock them out.
Yeah.
Then the Texans and the Browns have to play themselves, so that can knock another guy out.
Yeah.
The Steelers could be on the decline with Kenny Pickett not being there. So
true.
I just think the Bills could sneak right in the playoffs, and the Chiefs could be right there. But the two teams in front of them to win, they're good too. So they don't control their own destiny. I know the Bills don't, but the Bills are a better team than the people in front of them. The Chiefs, are they a better team than the two teams in front of them? Debatable.
I'm with you, Carl. I'm not mad at your take, for real. Like I can see that. I can see Bills making the playoffs. I can see that. So
I hope I'm wrong, by the way.
I ain't mad at your take.
I think for me, this is just it's got little to do with the Ravens and more to do with Josh Allen, bro. I don't trust him. At least this year. You know, maybe years past, maybe next year he rebounds. But the way he playing right now, granted, he looked great against us. But what happened at the end of the game? Miscommunication. I don't know if I should blame that on Josh Allen, blame that on coaching, or blame that on the receiver. That's a game they're supposed to win. And so, like, it's little stuff like that could cost you. Their margin for error is so slim at this point. And Josh Allen is a guy who operates in error. Like, that's what he's done all year. So it's just the Ravens, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. And it's going to make it very hard for the Chiefs to get that number 1 seed. But the Ravens ain't going to win out. They're going to make it tough for, you know, which is going to make it easier for the Chiefs to potentially snatch up that 1 seed still. So I think, again, if I had to put my money on it, I'd still say the Ravens get it because I trust the Ravens. I trust Lamar Jackson, you know. But again, Josh Allen on the opposite end, I'm putting my money on him selling it and them not making the playoffs before anything.
And AJ, also to piggyback what you said, the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs, they're good with the tiebreaker. They got it with the Dolphins. The Ravens lost. The Chiefs lost to the Broncos, AFC team, the Packers, and the Eagles. Right? That's it, right?
They lost to the Lions too.
And the Lions.
Yeah,
they lost 3 NFC teams and only 1 AFC. While y'all call the Colts the Steelers. You know what I mean, right? And that's it, right?
And the Browns.
And the Browns. You feel me? So that's in Miami, they lost to the Chiefs. Well, I said in Miami, but so they got that. But also Josh Allen, I will say this: he's historically has been good against Mahomes in regular season. Also, the Chiefs got banged up last game defensively. They missing some players, you know. So the Chiefs already are struggling to score. The Bills aren't struggling to score really. Josh Allen, I know we always talk about he got an interception every game. He also got 2 touchdowns every game too. All right, so they don't have no problem scoring. The problem is the turnovers part. So they can go it. They can beat Kansas City. I have no doubt they can probably beat Kansas City. It's just that it's on kind of that last game though for them against Miami in Miami. That's gonna be tough.
I don't think they beat Kansas City. All that being said, I think they lose to Kansas City.
I might go with the Bills that game. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, don't clip me up here defending the Bills and Josh Allen because I know somebody going to do it. And I'm just doing my job, bro.
I didn't nothing wrong with that, don't you?
Yeah, no, that's what I've always said. I'm gonna keep it a buck with, bro, even though this exists.
That game in Kansas City too.
It was in Kansas City last year though, and they lost.
And
That's true, but
and they were better
Josh
last
Allen
year. The Chiefs were better last year.
yeah, but Josh Allen probably worse this year than he was.
No,
last
see,
year.
look, I got it. This is my another rebuttal. Because Dave brought it up how he leading the league in picks and touchdowns. This is always Josh Allen. This is always him. This is
By the
him.
way, Sam Howell leads the league in picks, so I had to put that out there. He does.
Oh,
Sorry.
well,
And then Dak Prescott leads in touchdowns. Total touchdowns, Jalen Hurts.
but still, this is him. Him being at the top of both categories is him. So this is nothing different. The only difference is him throwing a pick for 8 straight games. That's the only difference.
He's good. All right. So look. So speaking of total touchdowns, Jalen Hurts, and total passing touchdowns, Dak Prescott. Let's move on to the next topic. So our next topic, we got a big division rival coming up, rivalry game that the whole chat is anticipating Sunday night. So we got the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Now we all know the game is important for both teams. Both teams got a lot on the line. The NFC East title's on the line. Hey, the number 1 seed for the Eagles is on the line. So it's obviously a must win for both teams, but which team is it more of a must win for? Eagles or Cowboys? Now, AJ, I know this is your squad, but we're gonna let Dave go first.
Okay.
And we're gonna actually let you go last. All right, since it's your squad.
That's fair.
Go ahead, Dave.
All right. So for me, like you said, this is important for both teams. Eagles right now are number 1 seed in the NFC, but they're only a game ahead of the Cowboys in the division. And Cowboys are undefeated at home, but they only have 1 win against a winning team this season, and that's against the Seattle Seahawks. For me, because of everything that I said, I believe this game is more important to the Cowboys. The reason why I say it's more important to the Cowboys is because if they're on the road, it's pretty much a guaranteed loss for them in the playoffs.
Okay.
They don't play well on the road unless it's like the Giants or somebody like that. And we know the Giants ain't going to be in the playoffs. They're not even close. So and they got it. If they played like the Vikings, maybe, the Lions, possibly. Okay, I see it. Shout out to Tomo, Mr. Yadunson himself with the $1.99 super chat. Yeah, here we go. Hashtag refuse to lose. Hashtag AP Dak.
That's how I laugh. That is hilarious.
But yeah, I just believe that the Cowboys need this win more than it also goes along with that narrative that they can't beat a winning team. They played the Eagles close last time. They only lost by 5 points, 28-23. But what happened in the end, it was Cowboys making mistakes. You had a false start, then a holding penalty, then you allowed an easy sack. And then even with the touchdown, Dak stepped out of bounds for the 2-point conversion. It was nothing that was really going to work out for them. And is Micah going to be there the whole game, or is he only going to show up in the fourth quarter? We need to see exactly what's going to go on with Micah. Is Deron Bland going to get cooked again? Because that happened Thursday night. We saw that against DK Metcalf. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Yes, he has the NFL record for pick sixes in one season with 5, but is he going to be able to cover it throughout the rest of the game, or is he just going to gamble every single time? So for me, the Cowboys need this win more because they will be in position to have the number 1 seed, not the number 1 seed, but the number 1. They would be ahead of the Eagles in the division. They would be tied, but they would they have an opportunity to take the first spot in the NFC East. And they would at least have a home game in the playoffs, which means they would have at least a win. But if they're on the road, then depending on who they play, it's a loss unless they go against the Falcons or whoever wins the NFC South. So that's the only.
If they win a division, they can't play them.
No, I'm saying if they don't.
Oh, got you. I got you.
Yeah, if they don't, because they're going to be the highest wild card seed. They're going to be number 5. So that's the only. But after that, they pretty much going to lose because they're going to have to play the Niners or the Eagles. So or the Lions, because the Lions still have opportunities to get the number 2 or 1 seed. So they still have to do whatever they can to make sure that they win that game. If not, then I don't know what's going to happen with the Cowboys.
I think we all forgot about the Lions.
No, not me. Not me.
You haven't, but we have.
You ain't forget either. Because you were playing on the Lions' downfall. I
got to talk about the Lions, man. I got to give them some respect.
You know what, AJ? Since he picked the Cowboys, go ahead. You go next.
I wanted to go next because Dave ain't slick.
No, I mean, to be truthful, I agree with Dave. I agree with Dave. I think it's more important for the Cowboys to win this game. When I look at Philly right now, is that a super chat?
Tomo just throwing.
Come on, Tomo. All right, $4.99 super chat. Nah, I need more energy, Dave. Yeah, here we go. Hashtag Cookbirds. Hashtag KFC. Hashtag deep fried bird. Hashtag MVP that.
Hey, Dave, I think he wants you to read it like the Dak Prescott cadence.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. I'm sorry.
Right here, Niners fan. Ain't no way.
Here we go.
I ain't doing that.
But no, read this one too. Go ahead. $1.99 super chat.
Please skip this.
Well, I forgot. Hashtag Tubi movies for the win.
All right, go ahead. AJ.
We gotta have an intervention for Tomo and Tubi. Like, this is ridiculous.
But yeah, AJ was last though. You sure you want him to go now?
No, he already started. He picked the Cowboys. Let's get it.
Yeah, Dallas. I mean, when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles right now, I look at the floor for the Eagles right now, being either 14-3 or 13-4 at the moment. With the given schedule coming up, you got Dallas coming up, you got Seattle coming up. Then you play the Cardinals and you play the Giants twice. You're gonna beat the Cardinals, you're gonna beat the Giants. There's a possibility that you could lose to Dallas and Seattle, which will drop you down to obviously 13-4 by the end of the season. I still think, given the schedule, that could be enough to win the division. In all honesty, the Dallas Cowboys have the toughest remaining schedule in all of football. They about to hit their gauntlet. They gotta play us. They gotta play Detroit. They got to play the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken. They got to play Buffalo, who's going to be hungry to make the postseason. And so they need this win from the standpoint of like, yes, you want to get, if you lose this game, it's done. The division is won by the Philadelphia Eagles. If you win this game, you take first place, at least for the moment, and you have an opportunity, if you continue to win, to seal first place. Dave kind of took my point as far as, they don't win many road games in the postseason. So ideally for Dallas, if you win the division, you get a couple home games, you got a chance to make a run. I don't look at Philadelphia the same way. I look at Philly as a team that's shown they can win at home and they can win on the road. So I look at it from that standpoint. I think for Philadelphia, I think this game is more so about pride. It's more so about just how do you respond after a bad loss? It's more of a mentality thing. It's more of a mental thing than it is when it comes to division and when it comes to seeding, for that matter. I think that they need this game based off that. But grand scheme of things, I think is more important for Dallas, because you lose this game, you don't win the division, and you're out second round. You might be out first round. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not likely, but you're going to be out pretty early in the postseason, and that's not what they want. And so I think it's more important from that standpoint for Dallas to win this football game. Not to undersell how important it is to Philly, because it's important that they bounce back. But if Philly loses this game, they're right where they was last season, 10-3. And then you try to win out from there. That's how I see it right now. But do I want Philly to win? Obviously, I don't want Philly to lose again to the arguably two of the other best teams in the NFC, coming off the loss they just had to San Francisco.
Don't disrespect the Lions.
For all three teams in the conference.
Cowboys got to play the Lions too.
Yeah, they got to play Detroit.
So they got to touch
a couple of them games on the road. So I think it's more important for Dallas.
All right, I'm going to pick the Eagles. All right, now I know you said Eagles got to win for pride reasons. More so the Cowboys got to win this for pride, because the Cowboys already lost. Y'all lost to the 49ers. They haven't really beaten the winning team, even including Seattle. Seattle not a winning team no more, right? So they need this win for pride reasons and stuff like that. because even with the win, it's going to be tough for them. Even though I said they could, it's going to be tough for them to get that number 1 seed and be home for the advantage. Y'all do not want to roll up in St. Clair, right? And when it comes playoff time, y'all don't want to play the 49ers in the Bay Area. You want to play them at the link. So y'all need to win this game to maintain home field advantage, because, like you said, y'all schedule ain't that tough. Y'all get past this game. Y'all can get past Seattle. Y'all can definitely get past the Giants twice, So so y'all need this game more than anything, because if y'all lose this game, now you give a stranglehold for, like, the 49ers got the first place in the stranglehold now. They control their own destiny. All they gotta do is win out, and they're gonna be the first seed. And then the 49ers the first seed, more than likely they're gonna come out the NFC. If they get the home field advantage. So I think Philly needs that more than anything.
Oh, it's on me. My bad. I had more. So, Dave, you're not slick, because Joe stole what I was about to say about why he chose the Cowboys. Because if the Cowboys win, the 49ers take that first place, and he looking sweet until they play Baltimore.
Oh, thanks.
I'm joking. Dave, I'm joking. Relax.
That's not why.
You don't want to bring that salad? Look, they got a different salad phone. You don't want to bring it out.
Relax.
That's not why I said that. I'm going to be honest. That is not why I said that. That didn't even cross my mind.
But nah, my answer is the Cowboys. And AJ really said everything I was going to say. It's because the Cowboys schedule from here is murder's row. So if you lose this game to the Eagles, you kiss that first place in the division. You kiss that home field advantage goodbye. Because if the Eagles beat you, they're pretty much favored, and I would be pretty much to say they'll be pretty much favored by double digits in majority of their games that they have left. The only game I don't think they'll be double-digit favorites in is the Seahawks, but they'll still be favored.
7-point favorites.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think it might be 7-point favorites.
Right. Yeah, they're for sure going to be favored. Cowboys, rest of the schedule, with what? Bills, Lions alone? Like, those are 2 tough games for y'all. Those are 2 tough games for anybody. So my answer is the Cowboys, basically off of what AJ said. Now, Joe, I did like your point about the 49ers having a stranglehold with first place, but they got to see us. So that could be a potential spot for the Eagles to get that first place back. Cowboys, they lose this game. I don't see them getting that first place back. I don't see them getting the first place at all.
Yeah, they'd have to hope for a complete collapse on behalf of Philadelphia. And I just don't see that, given the fact that they just got smoked by the Niners. I really think that loss, if there's any loss that's going to wake them up, it'll be that loss for them to play a lot better here down the stretch. And they got the perfect chance to rebound against Dallas. And so, yeah, the way I look at Dallas, man, like I said before, not to reiterate my point, but they're not winning no road game. And honestly, outside of probably the first round, because they will more than likely beat whoever comes out of the NFC South, because the NFC South is terrible. I will say this, though. I'm here. Shout out to Dave. Y'all got y'all dub. Y'all kicked our butt. Y'all punked the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not afraid to say it. I already said it on all of my platforms. I'm saying it again here. Don't be shocked, though. If they don't get the 1 seed, they get the 2nd seed, and they beat y'all in San Fran. Don't be shocked. Because come postseason time, I'll put it like this. As crazy as it sounds, given that blowout, I give the Philadelphia Eagles a better chance at beating y'all in San Fran than I do the Dallas Cowboys getting past the divisional round if they got to do it on the road.
Dang.
Real talk.
I thought he was about to go
I thought he was about to say something else too. I was about to say, nah.
Because we comparing the two. So I would say the Cowboys are known for losing in the divisional round as of late. And so with them, having to go on the road in order to get that win, if they at home, you never know, because they play great at the crib, and I give them credit for that. Especially against bad teams. Obviously, they play a good team in the playoffs. But, given that kind of curse that's been over the franchise for a number of years, depending on who they see, especially if they see Philadelphia or they see San Fran in that divisional round, I give the Eagles a better chance. I think the Eagles are better than the Dallas Cowboys. Now, obviously, I could be wrong. Come this Sunday, Dallas Cowboys could beat us. But at the end of the day, I just view the Eagles as a more battle-tested team and a team that's built to succeed on the road in the playoffs. It's even against the best of the best compared to the Dallas Cowboys, who have not proven that they could do much of anything on the road, especially in the postseason.
But have Philly?
I wouldn't be shocked if we get the 2nd seed and we beat San Fran, though.
I
wouldn't be shocked.
But have Philly proved anything in the road, though?
You said what?
Have Philly proved anything on the road in the playoffs?
In the postseason, I mean,
No.
last couple times we've been. Last year we had nothing but home games. So recently, no. But I mean, when you look at the regular season we've had so far, I'll take that win in Kansas City. I know Kansas City is not Kansas City of old, but that's a big time environment. Catching Andy Reid coming off a bye week to win the game.
But here's the thing,
that's
though.
a big time win.
A lot of people keep saying Cowboys are going to go on the road in the playoffs. I don't think it has nothing to do with the road or at home. It's just when they play a true competitor in the playoffs, they lose. They lost to the 49ers at home the first 2 years, 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They lost at home.
You give them a better chance at the crib, though.
And
that's anybody.
Not against us.
Than you do on the road.
Not against us.
That's anybody, and also, the game's actually closer last year than it was the first time they played. But away. But they might end up playing the Lions in the second round in Detroit.
Talking about refs.
So and they beat Detroit in Detroit before, right? That was in Detroit, right? Was that in Dallas
last year?
No, when Matthew Stafford.
No, that was in Dallas.
Yeah, that was in Dallas.
And that was refs.
Yeah.
Troy Vincent must have I don't even think Troy Vincent was appointed. But
the one thing I got to say about San Fran, we don't care where we play in the playoffs. So if we play Philly in the Link again, we are very comfortable, feel like we can win because we just proved that we can win in the Link. So I'm sure,
as y'all should, the not to interrupt, but the 49ers have no reason to not be comfortable or to not be confident. But the Eagles, I'm confident learn from their mistakes. Y'all know I'm very in tune, so I'm confident they learn from their mistakes. Obviously, if I had to choose, yes, I would rather y'all come to Philly again. Obviously, but I think my team got that championship DNA, man. So I just think that game will be a lot better than people expect the second time around. It's tough to beat a team like that twice. That's tough. Especially tough they smoked them, they embarrassed them. And great teams normally respond to that very well. So, but obviously, again, I'd rather them play in Philly. Obviously, I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't be super confident. We're gonna go in there and kill them. Like, no, I wouldn't be super confident. I'd be, on pins and needles, but I still give us a better shot than Dallas.
All right, let's got some news.
I think you're about to say what I was about to ask about.
Okay, you probably. Oh, the Pacers won.
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, cool. It wasn't that though. It wasn't that, but the Pacers beat the Bucks. Wow, man! I'm telling y'all, man, them incentives, them people that getting paid like $2 million is mean a lot. But Eagles star Jason Kelce tells Commissioner Roger Goodell to ban the tush push, but it ain't like that though. That's what he said though. I'm gonna say what he said. He said ban it. Basically, he's fed up. Ban it. At this point, I don't care. I'm over the discussion about it. I don't have the energy to care about whether it gets banned or not. Can we kind of sort of
discuss that? Even though I know it's not a topic, can we just
briefly?
Because I feel like it's been talked about the last couple, almost all season long. My comment on this is, let them continue to do it. If you can't stop it. You can't stop it. There's no point of stop. It's not. Has anyone gotten hurt from this?
No, that
we know about.
No.
All right, that's fine. I was playing. Man, injured. Every since been doing the touch push.
But it hasn't caused major injury. It's just because people can't stop it.
I don't know. I got to do my research.
I don't remember nobody getting hurt.
I don't remember anyone getting hurt from that. And yeah, Jason Kelce is the reason we've seen exactly why, because he gets so low on the ground. All right, that's fine, but I wouldn't ban it. I think it's ridiculous. And it's just well, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Figure out a way to stop it.
I think that's important, super important, coming from a Niners fan, because we just saw it's not like the Eagles are unbeatable because of this move. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can't beat the Eagles because they do the tush push. It's like, bro, stop them from getting to 3rd and 1. Stop them from getting to the goal line, and you won't have that issue. Or figure out how to stop that, and you won't have that issue. We just got, bro, they just got smoked. They lost to the Jets. The Eagles are a very beatable team with the unstoppable move or not. So it just comes across as to me as an Eagles fan, I'll be honest. To me, it just comes across as, people being lazy about it. Bro, figure out how to stop it. Or don't let them get to that point at the end of the day. Jason Kelce, this is last year in the league. So he's saying that he's probably going to retire anyway. All right, I'm done with it. you know, at the end of the day, like it might not be as effective, even if it doesn't get banned next year without Jason Kelce. It probably won't be the same without it won't be the same without Jason Kelce, you know, because him and Jalen Hurts is the ones that make that go. But they are upset because other teams can't do it as effectively as the Eagles do, and most teams can't stop it. But the way to stop it is to dominate like how the Niners did. Simple and plain. Don't let us get to that point. And, you know, you don't have to worry about that.
My sentiments exactly, AJ. It's not like in football you automatically get 3rd and 4th and 1 situational football. No, you have to get set up to be able to do that. And if you keep allowing a team to set up to run that, blame your defense.
Exactly.
Blame yourself. Don't blame Philly. And plus, like AJ said, I've seen teams, multiple teams. Y'all know I watch college, so I watch like over 100 schools almost on a weekly basis. I've seen schools, NFL teams, try to run the tush push, and they have better success running trick plays off the tush push than running the actual tush push.
Exactly.
So, no, don't ban it because a bunch of people are crying about how they can't stop it. Either use it yourselves and figure out a way to be as successful as the Eagles, or figure out a way to stop it. You didn't hear people crying about the Wildcat, saying, "I can't run the Wildcat." You found out a way to deal with it. You didn't hear people crying about the Pistons. I mean, I said the Pistons, the pistol, excuse me. You didn't hear people crying. I'm sorry. The Pistons slipped on my mouth. I've been going through a lot of trouble with them. You didn't hear people crying about the pistol.
That would have been perfect.
You didn't hear people crying about the pistol with Kaepernick. They figured out a way to stop it. Other innovations that's going to become a thing where it's going to be hard to stop, and the coordinators are going to have to earn their money trying to figure out how to stop it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just people just don't like it because they can't stop it. That's all it is. It ain't nothing to do with anything else, you know, because, you know, it is what it is. That's how I look at it.
It's just jealousy. That's all it is.
Yeah. Now I do understand the excitement. Like, it's not an excitement play at all. It's like a rugby play.
So what?
Now,
Stop it.
But you know, the NFL is about showcasing, like, that's why they gravitate more towards the passing versus rushing. You know, they want to see more skillful stuff, and that's not a skill play at all. It's just straight like domination. But I'm okay with it. Cool. I'm okay with it. I mean, it ain't like they want to ring with it, right? So
not yet.
Not yet. It's the coordinators and teams crying about it. In reality, if they had it in their back pocket, they wouldn't be crying about it.
Imagine that. Imagine if they was in Seattle situation against the Patriots. That's a guaranteed Super Bowl.
You had in the backfield. That was daggone their guaranteed Super Bowl too. But
that is stupid.
Speaking of one to be the reason.
Yeah, speaking of you know, tush push winning the Super Bowl, you know, Jalen Hurts possibly winning MVP. Let's get to this MVP conversation. All right. So this was a heated 5-day, 6-day debate in the chat. All right. It was a long debate. A lot of different opinions, a lot of different candidates. This is an unconventional MVP race. All right. This is nothing normal. Nobody is dominating the MVP race. Nobody, it's not even two that's standing out. Normally it's like a 2-man race. It's not even that. All right. So we got to talk about who is the MVP front runner. All right. So who wants to start this one off?
You.
I need to start this one off? Okay, I'll start.
No, we already know Joe front runner.
I know mine. Yeah. So,
Carl, let you go first. You haven't gone.
Can I start only because I told y'all in the messages I don't have a leader because this race is so wonky. It is. I can't pick nobody to win. So I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. No, I'm playing. I'm not going Lamar. Part of me wants to go Dak because Dak is huge to the Cowboys' success. They don't have a run game. He's been putting up great numbers, but he don't have the quality wins. Like, his wins other than the Seahawks are not good. Then I also, the only reason why I can't agree with Joe on Brock Purdy is because I can't get the taste of the 3-week stretch with no Debo, no Trent Williams. Brock Purdy has 6 picks on the year. Them 3 weeks, he threw 5 of them. So without all the pieces in place, he threw 3 touchdowns, 5 picks, had a 120-something yard game. And yes, against the Bengals, he got his numbers with 300-something yards, but he threw 1 touchdown and 2 picks. It's so hard to get that taste up out of here. So, and then I understand Joe's points with Jalen Hurts. He got the wins, but he does not have the numbers. But then you look at it, Jalen Hurts have to overcome a lot. The defense, as it was number 2 in passing last year, I believe, it's 28th this year in passing.
Don't empty everybody
20.
clip. Don't empty everybody clip.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
empty everybody clip.
All right. I'm gonna
29th,
finish that, though.
actually. 29th.
20. Thank you. Making my point a little bit better. 29th in defense. They don't have the 70, 80 sacks last year. So Jalen Hurts is showing you it's not because of my team why I was doing what I was doing last year. I'm just really that good, and I can win games for my team. You see the one team, the one game Jalen Hurts, quote unquote, played bad against the Jets, they lost. Brock Purdy, he had the 3 weeks with no Debo, no Trent. They lost. They were capped at 17 points. As soon as they come back, blowouts. Right back on schedule. Blowouts. 30-plus points. As soon as he got them pieces back. So it's hard to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go Dak. Just because Hurts lost, I'm going to go Dak. But for real, I don't have a front runner. I'm not trying to empty out everybody clip like AJ said. So I'm going to let y'all go.
All right. So who going next? You want to go, AJ? Y'all know
Yeah.
what I got. It's perfect.
So it depends on what you want. And that's my honest answer. For the people listening, you know, I have a front runner, and I'm gonna get to that in a second, but it depends on who you or what you want. Do you want the numbers? You want the numbers? You got Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has two big time wins. Beat Jacksonville too. I thought that was a pretty solid win as well. And so I gave him Jacksonville too. That's 3. Hold on, Dave. Bear with me. You know what I'm saying? I done gave the 49ers enough credit. I ain't finna give him too much now. All right? So he got some quality wins in there for sure. And he's got big time numbers. You're gonna hear Joe rattle off a bunch of numbers when it comes to Brock Purdy, rightfully so, because that helps Brock Purdy make his case. Dak Prescott also has really impressive numbers as well. So if you're looking for numbers, you can go with either one of those guys. Full disclosure, I went on full timeout and said, man, I'm gonna give it to Dak right now, given the fact that, you know, Jalen Hurts just lost to the San Francisco 49ers. I gotta give him credit where it's due. You know, he's balling out, he's putting up numbers. Then I sat back all day today and said, hell no, it's Jalen Hurts. I'm rolling with Jalen Hurts. When I look at the total yards, when I look at the total touchdowns, when I look at the game-winning drives, when I look at the fourth quarter drives, Jalen Hurts, to what Carl just said, is leading the Philadelphia Eagles. This is one thing that people not talking about enough. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming off of a Super Bowl appearance, an appearance which they lost in. It's not a lot of teams that bounce back from Super Bowl L's. It does not happen often. The Philadelphia Eagles have done that. They haven't done it by the defense, because a lot of people said the defense was elite last year, and I agree. The defense did hold their weight last year. But this year, the defense has been atrocious. Jalen Hurts has had to come through and save the day oftentimes this year, with this defense not playing to the level that it's supposed to play to. We got all these names out there on the defensive side of the ball, but it's not a lot of guys out there making plays. The secondary has been awful. Jalen Hurts this year spent about half of the season dealing with a knee injury that he's still kind of dealing with, and yet and still he's led them to a 10-2 record so far this season. They lost to the 49ers, and everybody wants to take Jalen Hurts from first to third, fourth, wherever you want to put him off of that one loss, and just ignore the Kansas City win, ignore the Buffalo Bills win, ignore the quality wins that he has on his schedule, knowing dang well at some point the Philadelphia Eagles was going to lose a game. It was going to happen. They wasn't going to finish 16-1. And so I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' body of work. Jalen Hurts don't have the best numbers, but he has quality wins. He's shown up in big time moments. He has elevated the team to great levels so far this season. They are the number 1 seed in the NFL, the NFC, and in their division. I'm rocking with Jalen Hurts.
Hey Dave, before you go, I had a Booker T moment. Where he's like, "We coming for you," and they mess up, and they do. That's why I did like this after. I meant to say Jalen Hurts because that's why I was making my points for Jalen Hurts.
So Jalen Hurts is your person too?
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
So, no quarterback in the NFL is undefeated right now. So, yes, my guy got 3 losses, but Dak also has losses as well. He lost to the Eagles, he lost to the Cardinals, and he got blown out by us. In the 2 matchups that Brock Purdy has had this season against the other 2 MVP candidates, he had better numbers than both of them. 4 touchdowns in both games and 0 picks. He had a higher quarterback rating, a higher passer rating, better completion percentage, better yards per pass, better yards per completion, but you're not putting him over them because he has weapons. Who has better weapons between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy as far as receivers? I would say Jalen Hurts, correct?
I would say Jalen Hurts. As far as if we talking just
AJ Brown,
receivers,
AJ Brown and Devontae
Brown and
Smith both
Devontae
had
Smith.
1,000 yards last season, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, but you said weapons, not better receivers.
I said receivers. I fixed it and said receivers. I said as far as receivers.
Okay.
When was the last time we had two receivers that had over 1,000 yards?
Was it y'all not
Who
having
has the better offensive line between those three?
Eagles
Philadelphia.
by far. All right.
All right. When Trent Williams went down, our offensive line looked terrible. Right or wrong. And I've been
Correct.
saying this all season long that without Trent Williams, we don't have an offensive line.
That is true.
Debo Samuel.
22nd with Trent Williams. Go ahead.
Debo Samuel.
Eagles don't look quite great without Lane Johnson either, but carry on.
That was one game, right?
And they won that one game, by the way. But carry on.
Still had AJ Brown though.
What was that?
Still had AJ Brown. Oh,
AJ
I'm like,
Brown was
go ahead,
there.
Dave.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
still had
Go ahead,
AJ
go ahead.
Brown. Brock Purdy leads the league in everything that I just named: completion percentage, QBR, passer rating, yards per pass, yards per completion, touchdown percentage. No one has played as far as quarterback. No one has done that's better for his team than Brock Purdy has so far this season. Yes, I get it. He lost those 3 games. But we're going to fault him for having weapons. Have we ever done that for anybody else? Did we do that for Jalen Hurts last season?
Thank
Whoa.
you, AJ.
Don't do that because you did.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
maybe not you, Dave,
Not
but
me.
Joe definitely did.
Go ahead, Dave. I go next, bro.
You see the hands, see Joe getting the hands ready. Like, hold
Also,
on.
people throw this out there and say that Brock Purdy is a dink and dunk quarterback. He's a yak guy. Patrick Mahomes last season in his MVP season, 54% of his yards were through yak. Tom Brady, when he won the MVP, 49% of his yards were through yak. Patrick Mahomes again, when he first won it, 52% of his yards was through yak. You know, the 4 times that a quarterback has led the league in yards per pass in history, all 4 have won MVP. Peyton Manning, Boomer Esiason were 2 of those guys. So you're telling me now, even though he has all of this, that he doesn't deserve to be MVP right now?
I think he deserves to be in the
Even though he
conversation for sure.
Even though he beat Jalen Hurts and Dak,
He deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah, we didn't say he's not in
and
the
he
conversation.
also beat the Steelers, who's from what I remember is also in the playoff race right now. Correct?
barely holding on.
Don't matter. They in the playoff.
I gotta take a shot at the Steelers, Dave. Don't mind me. I have to take my shot.
I got you.
Y'all
I
got
got
them
you.
week 1. Y'all got them
And
week
Joe,
1, right?
And Joe, even though it don't matter, it's in the NFL.
I was just
season.
I was just confirming. That's all.
That
I
was
wasn't
week
trying to
one.
knock it. I was just confirming.
Yeah, it was week 1.
Week one,
Beat him
yeah.
30-7, by the way. And that defense is supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league, correct? Purdy still put 30 points on them.
I know, right? Defense
I'm just saying. And from what I keep hearing that the Cowboys have this good defense, but he put 42 on them. Eagles have a top 5 rushing defense. He still put 42 on them. The Jaguars lead their division right now. He put 30 on them. So you're telling me he's beating these playoff teams, blowing them out, and he don't deserve to be MVP? To me, it don't make sense. It just don't make sense.
You got Brock Purdy?
I had Christian McCaffrey at first, but after I've heard everything and I did all my research, Purdy is number 1.
Ooh. All right, let me try to hope Carl and AJ come on. Water's fine, y'all. It's not cold. I got you. All right.
You did no convincing. We can go on.
I'm so glad y'all keep bringing up that same narrative. Them 3-game stretches. He ain't even the best player on his team. Oh, you know, I had a lot of time today at this research, and I found something. I'm like, oh, snap. Why didn't I remember this? Y'all remember Kurt Warner, right? 1999, his first year starting, won MVP. Who was the best player on that team?
You got Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk was the best player on that team. And guess who was second in MVP voting?
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk. So look, Kurt Warner. My bad, my microphone. Kurt Warner. Oh, got a super chat. Go ahead, Dave. Here's a hold up real quick. For Unleash. I'll read it. That doesn't even sound right. All right, anyways, shout out to TYP with the 199 super chat. Him and Burton.
It's supposed to be Hemi Burton.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Hemi Burton. Oh, it's Halliburton though. But anyway, right? Hemi Burton.
Like Hemi Butler is supposed to be a play on that.
But Jimmy Butler, that's Halliburton though. That's what he's trying to say. But I get you though. All right, kill the dare. All right, hashtag him VP. Shout out to Ty and the Pacers for advancing to the championship game against either the winner versus the Pelicans or the
Lakers.
All right. So that's what I was saying. Kurt Warner that year won MVP. AJ, you gonna like this. So when Kurt Warner won MVP, right? Did y'all know there were only 4 teams in the NFC that won at least 10 games? The Rams, the Redskins, the Vikings, and the Buccaneers. Do you know he ain't played none of those teams in regular season? None of them. And do you know in the AFC, there were only 4 teams that won 10 games? The Colts, the Jags, the Bills, and the Titans. The only team he played was the Titans, and guess what? He lost that game through 4 interceptions. Sorry, through 2 interceptions. The 3 games he lost, he threw 6 interceptions. The 3 games he lost, every game they won that year, they won by a huge margin. Every game, not even 1 possession. Every game he lost by 1 possession. So it sounds like Brock Purdy to me. Sounds like he ain't closing the close games, but yeah, he was still the best player that year. He had the best numbers. He had a record. But he ain't beat nobody. Brock Purdy, on the other hand, he beat Philly. He beat Cowboys. He beat the Jags. We ain't got to talk about the Steelers. All right? So when y'all bring in the narrative that I'm stuck in those 3 games, I'm like, bro, we got somebody right here who got a similar season as Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's probably even better. And he wasn't even the best player on his team. Marshall Faulk was second in MVP vote in that year. That's crazy. And guess who won? Marshall Faulk. All right? So when y'all say he's not the best player on his team, we've seen it in history that, once again, I'll give you another example, Rich Gannon and Jerry Rice. Rich Gannon won MVP. Jerry Rice was the best player on that team. Right? So, but the way Hurst is winning it, I have never seen nobody in the history of the NFL let me pull the numbers. That was in top 10. I mean, Hurst is 11th in passing yards, 11th in passing TDs, 5th most interceptions, 12th in completion percentage, 8th in QBR, and 13th in QB rating. I mean, yes, let's rushing TDs, right? He leads the league in touchdowns. But do you know he's also second in total turnovers? So I've never seen nobody who had that resume and won MVP when you have a guy like Brock Purdy, like Dave said, who's 7th in pass yards, 4th in TDs, 4th least in interceptions, 1st in completion percentage, 1st in QBR, 1st in QB rating, and he beat the Cowboys and all that stuff, right? And here's the crazy thing about the Cowboys stuff. Hurst has 0 games with 140 pass rating. 0. He has 0 great games as a quarterback. 0. Mahomes has 0. Dak has 1 against the Commanders, 142 passing rating. Lamar has 2. 1 against the Cleveland Browns, 142 passing rating, and 1 against the Lions, 155. 155 that's a lot. Purdy has more than all 3 of them combined. He has 4. He has 1 against the Cardinals, 134. We're not going to talk about the Cardinals, though. Against the Cowboys, one of your competitors, Dak Prescott, 144 QB rating. Against the Jags, 148 QB rating. And a season high, 158 against your very loving Eagles. So how can I not put him as MVP when he's beating the – Go ahead, Carl.
I thought we set the standard at 140.
Joe, you said that wrong. He had 158.
Sorry.
He had 158 against the Seahawks. He had 148 against the Eagles.
My bad. I
was about to say because you said 134, and
that's my fault. That's my fault.
I saw your face, Carl. That's why I knew where he messed up at.
Thank you.
You still
Go
going?
ahead.
Can I start my rebuttal?
Wait,
Go
AJ,
ahead,
let me go first. Mine is real short.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is, historically, not all the time they got it right. You know how I bang the table, how I believe Troy Aikman probably shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because just because he was the quarterback of them 3 Cowboys teams. When the when Emmitt Smith needed to get paid and he sat out, the Cowboys lost 2 games and they paid Emmitt whatever he wanted to come back and match Troy Aikman. They said, "Bro, get back here. We need you. Troy ain't looking as good. Get back here." Troy Aikman numbers is mediocre. So
Has he won MVP? That's a different story.
No,
Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Famer, but we ain't no MVP.
Look, all I'm saying is just because something happened in history don't mean it's right.
Troy Aikman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate
Troy
it.
Aikman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He has 3 Super Bowls as starting quarterback. Eli Manning might get the Hall of Fame over 2.
You missed my
point. But the point still stands that just because something happened in history doesn't mean that that's how it's supposed to go. My rebuttal is this. This is refuse to lose, right? This is refuse to lose. This ain't ESPN. This, because if I wanted to do that, I could just, go to work. But this, I want to be here. That I want to be on Refuse to Lose because this is I'd argue this is a better network because this is real thoughts. This is real conversation. Me and Joe, we had our conversation about this a while ago, and I'm like, Joe, if you want to just take out, what you think the media is going to do, who do you really feel like is MVP? And you remember what your answer was, Joe?
Yeah, I think Dak Prescott.
You think Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott is playing the best football as a quarterback right now on a consistent basis.
And that I understand and that I respect. And if somebody want to argue that, I will argue that another day. You keep on bringing up things that you haven't seen. We've never seen anything like this. I can't remember last time I seen a team go lose the Super Bowl and come back the next season 10-2. I can't remember the last team.
Go ahead.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a defense that's ranked as bad as the Philadelphia Eagles defense is, and a pass defense that's ranked like 29th, and they 10-2 on the back of their quarterback. It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, it could be back in 1999. Maybe you got them facts up, but that's you. I also want to bring this up because y'all keep on talking about Brock Purdy's pass numbers and all of this and this, that, and the third. I think it's really, I won't say easy. Let me rephrase it because I don't want to disrespect him. He lit us up. I don't want to disrespect him, but I want to say this. I think it's a lot easier to compete at that type of level when you have no adversity to deal with. You have no adversity to deal with. Let's go through the 49ers schedule this year. So you beat the Steelers 30-7. That defense let up 7 points. You beat the Rams. Okay. You got the Rams 30-23. That defense let up 23 points. The following week, you beat the Giants. That defense let up 12 points. The next week, they let up 16. The week after that, they let up 10. The week after that, they lost. They let up 19. The week after that, 22 points. The week after that, 31. They lost that game, of course. The week after that, 3 points, 14 points, 13 points, 19 points. I mean, dang. I don't know many starting quarterbacks, in this MVP conversation that ain't winning just about every one of them games if his defense ain't allowing more than 23 points a game. They let up 23 points. They let up 23 points like one time this season. The only time they didn't is against the Bengals, and they lost that game. So this is how I look at it. I don't want to take too much away from Brock Purdy, but like I said before in the chats and like I'm saying here now, I want my MVP to be a guy that can overcome. All else fails, I trust that man to come through for me. I have not seen Brock Purdy do that not one time this season. Now, one time have I seen Brock Purdy in a situation where he can't front run win a football game. If Brock Purdy won one of them games in his 3-game stretch, I'd be like, okay, I'll give it to him. And off the numbers, the media is giving it to him right now off the numbers. And I'm not. If that's not just the numbers, though. Listen, this is refuse to lose. You ask who's my MVP front runner. Personally, when I look at MVP, I want a guy that I won't say has to carry the team, but all else fails, I trust that man to come through. He's been in position now 3 times to come through in those situations. He has not come through. Like Carl, that's hard for me to get over. Every other game, yes, he's doing this thing, but the defense is dominating every single game. Dak Prescott in this situation got the same record, if not better. Jalen Hurts in this situation got the same record, if not better. With a defense. The
Cowboys defense ain't dominating either?
What was that?
The Cowboys defense aren't dominating either?
Their record is
the Eagles defense dominated last year, but Hurts is getting an MVP nod?
The difference is they played the 49ers. That's the difference in their record.
Let me ask you this, though. Last year, Philly, your team, weren't y'all dominated defensively last year? And
Yes,
Hurts
my
was still an
rebuttal to
MVP
that.
candidate?
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Uh-uh.
Exactly. Y'all had a top
No.
5 defense and a top 5 offense last year.
Yeah,
Y'all
a record setting
Are you
comeback
serious?
in history.
That's perfect. That's perfectly fair. What happened when Jalen Hurts couldn't play?
So
Oh,
okay.
They lost.
Go ahead.
My rebuttal to that is this. My rebuttal to that is
Go ahead.
this. Jalen Hurts had multiple games last season where he had to offensively carry. He had to carry
the Colts against Jeff Saturday. That team. That's the only one we think of. Every other game, y'all were up most of the game.
The first game when Garner Minshew came in, didn't they put up 30 points without Hurts?
Yes.
Yeah, he had three turnovers. And that was the thing. That was
when Brock Purdy went down in the NFC Championship game, what happened to the offense?
See, that's
what was that?
Wait,
I didn't hear it. What did you say? I didn't hear that.
I got that. No, I got that. Dave, you're forgetting to mention the fact that y'all didn't have a backup or a third string. Y'all went to a
Carl,
string quarterback.
How was the offense before Jimmy G took over? How about that? How was the offense?
Hold on, Dave. I mean, not Dave, Joe. Let me answer this question. You can ask me the question.
Go ahead.
So the context you are missing is that both Jimmy G and the third string were both hurt behind Brock Purdy. So they had to turn to Josh Johnson, who Joe, well, I don't even know if this is true, but they allegedly say he was working at 7-Eleven the week before they called him up and he get hurt. And y'all had no choice but to run the football, even on 30 longs when the game was on the line. Brock Purdy could not use his left arm or his throwing arm, because of the UCL injury. So I understand you're trying to make a point with that, but it lacks severe context if you just throw that question out there without the context.
All right, let me ask a question quick. All right, so look, it's funny because now Dallas Goedert got hurt against the Commanders. That was the first time y'all suffered an injury.
Last season?
Last season. And that was the first time y'all took a slug.
Right.
First time y'all took an L is when Dallas Goedert got hurt. Then the game after that, y'all struggled. Y'all got a game-winning rushing TD against the Indianapolis Colts as Jeff Saturday. So y'all were struggling without one of y'all guys, right?
But he came through. Jalen Hurts came through. He delivered and won the game.
That's what I'm saying. This is before Gardner Minshew came in. Y'all was still winning games though, right? But nobody looked at Hurts and said, "Oh, when they lost Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown had a bad game, they lost." Nobody did none of that. Did we? Nobody never did that and said he don't deserve MVP because of this reason. Nobody said that. And you told me yourself. And you told me yourself that he was a front runner around that time, which I don't think he was. I thought it was Mahomes and then it was Tua. But you told me that he was right there as a front runner. Brock Purdy does the same thing, but he does one better for you. He goes against his MVP. Oh, look, no, sorry, because you went wild, right? Here you go. Brock Purdy goes on a 3-game skid, right? You got that. Would you rather have this? A guy going on a 3-game skid, right? And then you got one guy who's like literally sliding through each game, right? But when those two meet each other, the one that went on a 3-game skid beat the living doors out of the other guy. And not just that guy, he went against another guy, Jalen. He went against Dak Prescott, the same guy Jalen Hurts went against, and looked even better than that. Like,
it depends
he blew both of them out and looked better than both of y'all on both of those games.
It depends on how you
keep going back to these 3 games that y'all got nothing to do with, but when he went against the competition, because the MVP candidates, he blew them out.
Because them 3 games might very well cost them their first round bye that they dang near deserve. That dang near may cost them the number 1 seed because of that 3-game skid. So that's why I'd rather have you asked me a question. You said, would I rather have the quarterback that got blew out in that game, or would I rather have a quarterback that went on a 3-game skid and all of that? Give me the quarterback that got blew out because he's still at the end of the day has 10 wins.
I'm not saying what quarterback you rather have. I'm not arguing who's better. I'm talking about as far as MVP wise.
I know. I'm talking about. I'm saying give me the quarterback that's better, that has better positioned his team through thick and thin, through a bad defense and all, showing you he can overcome. Give me the quarterback that better positions himself for a potential playoff run with the road to the Super Bowl going through Philly. Now, if he loses Sunday, I can't make this case. But my guy got the best record in the NFL. I'm not about to ignore that because he lost to Brock Purdy. I'm not doing that.
So that's the reason why he's MVP. Y'all got the best record?
No, I listed all the reasons. He's MVP. in part because of the numbers and everything he's had to overcome so far this season.
He has no numbers.
Bad defense,
He has no numbers.
Not great.
He has the most total yards and the most total touchdowns. It's
And he has the most, second most turnovers too. Don't forget about that.
And that's perfectly fine. But he got the most wins, which is the most important stat, given the fact that his team is not as good. Given the fact that his team is not as good as the San Francisco 49ers, and I think
your numbers way more than your record. It does.
To me, and that's where the debate lies. To me, it doesn't. And that's why you say, who's your MVP frontrunner? I view it differently. I don't say because of the numbers, I have to go with Brock Purdy. No, the context to me matters, bro. The context don't match up for me the same way it matches up for Jalen Hurts. So no, Jalen Hurts' numbers aren't where you want it to be. He got everything else you want, though. He got everything else you want.
He beat Brock Purdy. He didn't beat Brock.
One seed in the conference. He didn't have to beat Brock Purdy. That's my stance. He didn't have to beat Brock Purdy right now. What he has to do. What was that?
He lost to Brock Purdy, but because he has a better record, he should be MVP. When he lost to Brock Purdy.
Pause. Are you gonna listen to my whole case, or are you just gonna focus on one piece?
No. I'm not. I'm listening to your whole case. Your whole case is he is clutch. That's it.
No, it's not just that. It's what it's him overcoming his team. Whereas Brock Purdy,
how many games has he been good?
Devontae Smith. What you mean he overcome his team?
His defense is trash, Dave. Are we watching the same defense? Why? Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a simple question. Can I ask y'all a simple question? And then I'll let y'all talk. What is the reason the Philadelphia Eagles are 10-1, 10-2? Honesty.
I mean, AJ Brown Jalen Hurts is a part of it. So is AJ Brown.
Who's the biggest piece?
Jalen Hurts.
Because we see. Let me fit. Because we see AJ Brown have bad games and the Philadelphia Eagles still win, right?
So yes, we have. And we also seen Debo have bad games and he still won too. Debo hasn't been good all year. Y'all forgetting that part. Y'all part what he did to y'all.
I can step in.
Jalen Hurts.
Hold on. Let me answer that, AJ. You can say Debo ain't been good all year. But when Brandon Ayuk went down, Debo had 100+. When Debo went down, Brandon Ayuk ain't look so good. So you can argue because of the threat of Debo, it makes that 49ers offense go as it go.
What games had y'all won when AJ didn't play well?
I just want to – didn't they beat the Kansas City Chiefs without AJ playing well? They just
did. Jalen Hurts play well. Did Jalen Hurts play well?
He did what needed to do to get the dub.
That's my point. Okay. So Devontae Smith play well? Did Devontae Smith play well?
Devontae Smith played well, yes.
Okay, so you bring up Brandon Ayuk on these guys. You got guys too. Jalen Hurts look like an MVP from start to finish. I can name probably like 3 games when he actually looked like an MVP this year. 2 games against the Commanders. And you can say the Bills because he had 5 touchdowns, but even with the Bills, he didn't look good.
And just like you can say that, I can't give you a single game where I feel like Brock Purdy is the reason why they won. I can't, bro. I can't.
You can't give me a comeback win. You can't give me a. You're looking for a comeback win. That's what
no. I'm looking. You know what I'm looking for, honestly, with Brock Purdy. And this isn't to discredit or disrespect Brock Purdy. It's not. What I'm looking for with Brock Purdy is one thing at this point. I need his MVP moment. I have not seen it yet. You're looking for a clutch moment. I'm looking for the team.
That's all you could be looking for.
I'm looking for the team.
Bro, I can't even get
my original question out.
Hold up, bro.
That
defense that you said is so bad for the Eagles. We held us to -6 yards in the first quarter. We did not look good in that first quarter. To that defense that you said that is so bad.
Y'all scored 6 straight touchdowns.
That's on him.
Who sparked that whole situation? Who was the reason why they scored?
Debo Samuel.
That was all Brock Purdy. You tripping? Yeah, you want that first drive? That first drive when they scored y'all?
We didn't watch the same game.
Purdy. Extended plays and everything. Debo got the backhand stuff.
What sparked the Niners run is they stopped throwing the ball as much. They handed the ball off to CMC. CMC got it going. Then the screen game got going, and Debo took off. That's not to completely take credit away from Brock Purdy. But my point what my original question was this, and then I'll give it to y'all. Y'all can say what y'all want.
I just want to say one thing.
I look at the Philadelphia Eagles and say they go as Jalen Hurts goes. That is how I look at the team right now because the defense ain't showing up. The run game, which I haven't even brought up, the run game, we don't even run the ball enough, but the run game is hit or miss. We saw in both the Commanders games. Joe, you watched them, so you know, right? I look at the Eagles and say, let me get this off really quick, and I'm done. I look at the Eagles and say, this is the reason why they are winning games. It is games because it is mainly because Jalen Hurts is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. When I look at the 49ers, I don't have the same take. I look at the 49ers and I say, CMC is your MVP on that team. He's a big part of the reason, if not the reason why they are winning these games. That's how I feel. That's truthfully how I feel. Dave changed his mind when he went back and did the research, but he, as a Niners fan, said the same thing. I would put CMC as my MVP for this team. Now, if you want to put CMC ahead of Hurts, be my guest. Okay, I won't refute it.
What?
But
AJ, are you serious?
I'm just saying from the standpoint of if the Niners beat the Eagles, if you want to say CMC, go ahead. But what I'm saying is,
wasn't even the best
when I look at
Super
the
Chat,
10-2 Eagles, go ahead.
Shout out to Tomo, 189 super chat. We need to define MVP moment.
An MVP moment.
That's what you're talking about.
An MVP moment is what Dak Prescott did against the Seattle Seahawks. His defense didn't show up at all, and Dak didn't punt that ball one time. That's when I said that's his MVP moment. You went up against a team. Nobody said you could beat a winning team. We don't have a ton of respect for the Seattle Seahawks, but that's the one time all season I've seen Dak Prescott under the pressure to carry his. You gotta be the carrier today. You got to carry the team. And what did he do? They didn't punt not one time because Dak Prescott had every opportunity, and he carried his team to a victory. When I look at Jalen Hurts, MVP moment, I look at the Buffalo Bills game. Game-tying drive, game-winning drive. Carried his team in the second half in a complete shootout. That's what I view as an MVP moment. When nothing else around you is really going the way you need it to go, are you going to be the guy to come through and will this team to a victory? I have not seen Brock Purdy do that once all season. That's why I personally cannot give it to him. He front running, y'all. Front running.
The one thing I've been dying to get off for like 20 minutes because Dave said it in his open soliloquy. In his open soliloquy, we're not faulting Brock Purdy for having weapons. We're faulting Brock Purdy for when the weapons went down, you didn't do what was necessary. You actually looked pretty bad get a dub. Wait, let me finish. The Browns game, I'll give you. He did drive them down to put them in position for a 50-yard field goal for a rookie that was missed.
That was not a 50-yard field goal.
It wasn't. It was a short field goal.
It was not short. It was like 40, 50 yards.
Yes, it was. It was not.
You gonna put it up, but go ahead.
Oh, Joe, look it up while I speak. One of y'all look it up. I think it was like
40. Drake Elliott hit a 59 there, but Hurts get credit for that.
Hold on, time out. That's not my point. He
got them to that spot because he played great in the second half. Brock Purdy
Y'all are missing the point.
Go ahead.
The point of that is saying, whoa, I put him in position to win. Hey, you missed. Hey, you only had 120-some yards that game. So you didn't put your team in position to win till it was too late, and stuff happens. The Vikings game, he had an opportunity to drive down to win the game. He threw the game-losing pick to Cam Bynum. So, again, your weapons are down. We need you to step up. You did not step up. I'm not faulting him for having weapons. I'm faulting him for when the weapon, you say the only offensive lineman you had, Trent Williams, cool, and Debo went down, you did not step up. That's why I'm faulting him.
Here's my issue. MVP moment. All right, going into that Eagles game, all the chatter, all right, Debo himself, if we had Purdy, it wouldn't have been close. That's what he said. Eagles talking trash. I mean, y'all going back and forth. The game starts. People, y'all say yourself, Purdy don't look good. Purdy don't look good. Y'all say yourself. And by the way, I had to fact check you. Chris McCaffrey on that first touchdown drive, he had like 4 rushes, 3 for no gain, 1 for 11 yards, by the way. Purdy was the one that got down there. Debo had 1 catch for like 12 yards. That whole drive. So I want to give you. I remember Purdy was slicing y'all up.
Thank you, Joe.
He came back from down. He came back in the second quarter down 0-6. I got you.
What? So it's his fault.
It was his fault.
Yeah. Hold on.
Didn't score a touchdown in those first
Hold
two
on.
games.
I haven't seen enough, y'all. It's not me hating on him because I said I give it to Dak before him. Y'all know how I feel about Dak. It ain't me hating. That's just how I feel, bro.
41.
That's what I said.
So look. Here's my thing. So hostile environment. It is the second quarter. It's 6-0. You got the Kyle Shanahan's least amount of yards he ever had in his whole football coaching career. All right? And he comes down far deep in his own territory, lead on to a touchdown, and scores every drive after that. So it's his fault. You blame me and saying this is the defense. It's his fault that they scored 6 possessions in a row and y'all couldn't keep up with them. The guy who's orchestrating that. It's his fault that y'all couldn't keep up and he couldn't have his MVP moment. His MVP moment was the fact that they scored 6 straight drives on y'all. That's why I feel like that was the biggest game of the year.
And
Brock Purdy had probably one of the best games of the
if
year.
I remember correctly.
Come on, man. Who not scoring on Philly? So then Dak Prescott, all these what's the name had an MVP moment, I guess, against Philly. Then who ain't scoring on Philly? Right? Everybody's scoring on Philly. Dak Prescott might give us 30 on Sunday. Everybody's scoring on Philly.
But number one offense, Dave. Number one offense, by the way, too. And they walked up in there,
and they only had 17 points.
Right? When y'all play, AJ, you fake it right now, AJ.
Are we saying?
How many points the Cowboys score?
Hold on. Are we saying that the 49ers defense is far better than the Dolphins offense?
What was that?
What we're saying? Is the 49ers offense that much better than the Dolphins offense? Is that what we're saying right now? Do we have Tyreek Hill on our team?
I mean, no.
Isn't
Shanahan and that offense, bro, the way he can maneuver against our defense.
Wasn't Raheem Mostert leading all? Hold on. Wasn't Raheem Mostert leading all running backs in touchdowns during that time?
At that point, yes.
They were number one in passing
right now.
But to our point,
hold on. Wait. Isn't Tyreek Hill on pace to go over 2,000 receiving yards right now?
Correct.
You're telling me we got better weapon than Tyreek Hill right now?
I think overall, y'all have a better overall offense.
That's BS.
And I think
AJ, I'm sorry. I'm going to say the last thing I said. My whole thing is you're not giving your defense enough credit. Yes, y'all played terrible against probably these bad teams that y'all can score on. But when y'all go against these juggernauts, your defense showed up every time. How many points did Bills score?
28.
I got a double. They scored 30.
It was 34.
We all went to overtime, though.
31.
34? 33, 36.
They won a game 37-34.
Oh,
yeah.
And then they got a key interception in the fourth quarter for you. They held the Chiefs to 0 points in the second half while your guy was playing terrible. If they didn't show up, y'all would have lost that game.
They have
the defense kept y'all. Yeah, the defense kept y'all close that whole game until your boy woke up. And then you play the Dolphins. Are you kidding me? Your guy threw a pick 6. Your guy fumbled, and then the Dolphins held that team to 7 points the whole game. But you don't want to give them credit, and you want to give your guy the defensive player MVP. And who else y'all play? Y'all play the Cowboys. The Cowboys been dropping 40, 50s, 35s. Hell, them boys are 23 points the whole game. 23. That's low for the Cowboys. But you don't want to give your defense credit. Yes, your defense don't show up against the Commanders, a team that you can easily score on, the worst scoring team in the whole league. Maybe the Rams. I'm not sure how many points the Rams had. The Patriots had what? So they got pieces on the Patriots. I got a lot of games I can look at and I can say Hurts ain't had nothing to do with that win. Like, remember early in the season, we were all like, Hurts look the same. What the world's going on? He's playing bad. But you want to give him MVP because he's being clutch. Clutch is different from MVP. You got to have a full body of work. Hurts don't have a full body of work, bro. He have moments. He has the record, but a full body of work, he don't have that. He just don't. I'm sorry. But go ahead. I'm done. After that, I'm done. Go ahead. Y'all got to say something else.
I was going to answer you because you was asking questions in that, so I was going to answer them if AJ wasn't. Oh,
go ahead.
You said, so you brought up the Chiefs game, right? The Chiefs should have won that game because the defense gave up a bomb late in the game that MVS dropped. So
if they would have won, Carl, would I help or hurt his case?
That I don't know because
it will hurt.
I'm asking you a question.
So we don't give them the dub. We don't give them the dub. Don't even bring that.
I mean, Hurts would have got the ball back and won anyway because that's just what he's done this year.
It wouldn't have been enough time left. But
no, it was a minute 40 on the clock when they almost scored that touchdown. We had 2 timeouts. It was a minute 40 left.
You're right.
And all we would have needed was a field goal to tie.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Joe. Now, because I forgot it was that much.
If
MVS catch that ball and Hurts wins that game, still that helps his case. Now the Dolphins game, Tyreek Hill dropped the open touchdown, bounced off his knees. So it just seems like the defense against primetime teams also have a little luck involved, you would say, because got the 2 point. Go review. Stepped out. Dak driving down the field to win it. Flags, sack, undisciplined football. So this defense.
That all help Hurts.
No, but you're talking about how the defense is so good and they show up to play.
Carl, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to try to discredit the defense and it Hurts win. Because those things happen, they got 3 dubs. If those things never happen, Hurts is not in this conversation. So because he's in this conversation, let's not even talk about that.
The way Hurts is playing this season, even if those things went the opposite way, we don't know how those games end. We still don't know how those games end because the way Hurts been playing this season, he been coming back beating teams. That's a fact. You've been clutch, right? We don't know that.
That's the one game I wouldn't talk about. The Bills game. We gonna credit the Eagles defense for that pick, or we just gonna say that's Josh Allen being Josh Allen?
So the same way y'all want to credit Hurts for these dubs.
That's Josh Allen being Josh Allen.
That's what I'm mad at. That's what I'm getting confused about. We are giving Hurts all this credit, but in the same breath, you want to discredit the defense. But
29th in passing defense, Joe.
Hey,
there's 32
I'm just
teams
saying.
in the league.
You think Brock Purdy will be 10-2 on the Eagles?
No, I think Hurts is better. I think Hurts is the better quarterback. That's not the conversation. The conversation is
that's not the conversation.
Because I think Lamar will be better with the Eagles.
Do you think he wouldn't be 10-2 because he's not better, or you haven't seen him uplift his team the way Jalen Hurts has this season?
I haven't. That's not the conversation. Once again, the conversation isn't who's the clutches, bro. I'm sorry.
Jalen Hurts
I want MVP to uplift his team when things ain't going well, bro.
When Mahomes won MVP the first time, I don't think he was clutching those games.
It was done, but because I had a suggestion at the end of this. Can I suggest that y'all are really making a case for Brock Purdy being all pro with the numbers and everything? Because look, because he has the numbers to be all pro. Like if you say that, I can't disagree with that because he got the numbers to be all pro.
And he got the wins, Paul. Stop saying numbers. He got the wins too against his competitors.
Okay, fine. Yes, he does. My bad.
That's a big point y'all missing. He beat 2 MVP candidates.
No, we're not missing that point.
Great.
I promise you I'm not missing that point. But again, he has the numbers. He has the wins. But like AJ and I are saying, well, basically for real, AJ, I'm with them though on this. MVP is valuable, the most valuable. Jalen Hurts is more valuable than Brock Purdy is, in my opinion.
They never give it to most valuable.
We're also forgetting the fact that the 49ers haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since Frank Gore. And from the graphic I believe I saw was 2014. Almost 10 years later, we finally get a 1,000-yard rusher out of the 49ers.
And why is that? Because he's that every down back. 49ers always run by committee. They always been about committee running the team.
Exactly. And y'all forget.
Come on, man.
Hold on, man. Valuable Chris McCaffrey is.
I mean, they had Saquon Barkley. It'll be the same way.
If we're gonna talk about San Francisco, be right. You want to put context into it. How many times have we had a healthy running back every season since Kyle Shanahan has been there? We have not. Matt Breida got hurt when we went to the Super Bowl. Raheem Mostert got hurt. Elijah Mitchell got hurt. We haven't had one running back that was able to play almost every single game this year. Even when CMC went down against the Browns, he came back in that game. Come on, man. I stopped playing on my team like that.
No, all right, so come on. That shows how valuable Chris McCaffrey is because he's on the field, he's available, and he finally
give me one time give me a scenario. Hold on. When Jalen Hurts did not have his best offensive lineman and when his best run the ball. No. Give me a scenario because you want to talk about scenarios, right? Give me a scenario when Jalen Hurts played without AJ Brown or Devontae Smith and he played without Lane Johnson in the same exact game. Give me that scenario. Did he do that yet? No. And when he didn't have weapons, he wasn't even remotely closing the MVP conversation because we forget about what happened in 2021 when he didn't have.
I don't. Playoffs. That team was trash.
Yeah,
that team was terrible. I don't
forget the playoffs, and that team was nowhere near as good as this 49er team, even with the injuries.
Thank you. The team was terrible. The team was terrible. The coaching was awful. They had no running game. The Eagles at that time were projected to win 4 games. He carried them rushing, throwing, in every way he could to the postseason. But I'll give you a different scenario. I see my guy win games with injuries all over the defense. I see my guy win games without Lane Johnson, and the Eagles never win without Lane. The moment I see Lane Johnson can't play, I got no faith. I was shocked we won a game without Lane. It never happens.
Didn't y'all lose without Lane, though?
A shootout without Lane at that. A shootout without Lane Johnson. Where he has to drop back
against who?
And make plays happen. Buffalo.
Against Buffalo. And when Lane first got hurt and he left the game, what happened?
In what game? What we talking about?
The Jets. Did he get hurt against the Jets? And what happened?
Right.
What happened?
Right, he lost, but he lost once. Brock Purdy lost 3 times in a row against mediocre competition. Well, against one mediocre team. I'll say that. One mediocre team.
Hold on.
Real quick, y'all.
Because I don't want to disrespect the what's names with Burrow and the Browns. I don't want to disrespect
with me.
But the Vikings were in the playoff. Come on.
Yeah, the Vikings won the one.
Ain't but the Vikings without Justin Jefferson ain't nothing worth talking about. And y'all know it.
I don't want to make a big deal. I don't want to make a big deal of this. That Vikings game is kind of similar to Tua last year with the Packers, right? Because he let that game with a concussion. But I don't want to do that. You know, I ain't gonna do that because remember Tua played at the Packers, played well, and I know where he threw all these picks at the end of the game. That's exactly what happened about Purdy. But anyways, I want to make this case real quick, y'all, before we end it about Chris McCaffrey. I know a lot of people think Chris McCaffrey should win MVP and Tyreek Hill. All right, Chris McCaffrey, right? Ever since in the last 25 years, the only running backs that won MVP, Terrell Davis had 2,000 yards. Marshall Faulk broke the TD record. Sean Alexander broke the TD record. LT broke the TD record. AP 2K yards and missed the record by 8 yards. Chris McCaffrey played 12 games. He got over 1,000 yards. He needs 968 more yards to get 2K, which is 193.5 a game. He averages 86 a game. So he's not going to do that. He got 12 rushing TDs. He needs 16 to break the rushing TD record. He needs 3.2 a game. He only been averaging 1 a game. So he's not doing that. Right now, line of scrimmage, he has 1,461 total yards. Line of scrimmage. He needs 1,048 to break the record. That's 209 a game. He averages 121 a game. That's not going to happen. 17 total touchdowns. Need 14 more to break the record. That's 2.8 a game. He's averaging 1.4 a game. So he's not going to try to break any record to go over 2,000 yards. That's why I think he won't win it. And I think the only way Tyreek Hill could win it, he has to get the Triple Crown, and he has to break that record. Because we seen people with the Triple Crown before. Jerry Rice, he only got 1.3% of the voting. Sterling Sharp, 2.5% of the voting. Steve Smith, no votes. Cooper Kupp, 2%. And we all know Calvin Johnson was close to breaking the record, and he didn't get a vote. So, and that's in 16 games. Calvin Johnson is averaging more yards per game than Tyreek Hill is right now. So Tyreek Hill is going to have to get that Triple Crown and he's going to have to break that record to win MVP, in my opinion. So I just want to put that out there.
Anybody up here said, well, AJ did say if you want to put CMC first, then he's cool with it. I didn't say CMC should be first.
Yeah, I don't think he should be first. Like,
I'm just saying I'd rather have CMC in the conversation. I'm not saying don't want to completely discredit Brock Purdy, but I just think CMC is more valuable to the 49ers than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and I agree.
You probably had Dak in the conversation before that Seahawks game, though.
You said what?
You had Dak higher than Brock Purdy before that Seahawks game, didn't you?
I didn't. Y'all know me. I didn't want to have Dak nowhere in there at all.
But he's higher than Brock Purdy.
The Seahawks game.
But before the Seahawks game, Dak didn't have his moment. He didn't have a moment all year.
Yeah, and then he gave me a moment where I said, okay, he carried the boys.
Before the moment, we had him over Brock, though.
What was that?
That's my thing. Y'all stuck on those 3 games because Brock is Mr. Irrelevant. I'm telling you. If Brock Purdy was Mahomes and Mahomes did the same exact thing Brock is doing this year, he would be MVP right now. But because he's Mr. Irrelevant, y'all so focused on the actual player. Is he actually better than these guys? That's not the conversation. The conversation is who's having the best season overall, like full body of work. Hurts got clutch moments and wins.
I want to clarify because Joe keeps saying the same thing. We know Brock Purdy ain't better than Jalen Hurts. And we know.
At least but now we don't know
that's never been my debate. My debate is exactly what Carl said. The Eagles are 10-2. The most valuable player on the best team in the league right now is on the best record. I'll give the Niners the best team. But the team with the best record The best player on that team right now is Jalen Hurts. When I look at the 49ers, and he's the most valuable player on that team. When I look at the San Francisco 49ers, I do not feel the same way about Brock Purdy. He could have changed my mind before. He hasn't yet. He still can. It's 5 games left. If he has a game, bro, because the Niners ain't perfect. If there's a game where I feel like, okay, them boys struggling today, he gonna have to lift them boys and carry them boys over the top, and he give me that moment where I can say, dog, carried them like an MVP would, I give it to Brock at that point because he's got the numbers, he's got the wins, he got everything you want. But until then, bro, I cannot give it to Brock just yet. I can't. And I will be, if Dak beats Philadelphia this Sunday, I will give it to Dak before I give it to Jalen Hurts, unfortunately. I would.
Hold on, quick, hold on.
I would.
Hold on. Hey, Brock, thanks for calling. I need you to call Debo, call Brandon Ayuk, call Trent Williams, call C-Mac. Tell them don't play Sunday because for you to win MVP, you got to win a game without these guys, all right? You got to lose on purpose so they can come back and win. Can you do that for me?
That's what y'all basically
Hold
said.
on. That's not what we said.
Brock, I already told him. Brock, I already told him if you blow them out, if you win every game versus about 30 points, you can't win it. The only way you can win it, you have to give up the lead temporarily, and you got to make a clutch play. Can you do that for me? Yeah, I know you can do. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool.
Carl,
you got Sunday.
That's not what we said though.
If you got Debo on your fantasy team, make sure you bench him because he ain't playing.
You know you have Debo, by the way, because of NFL Fantasy Network help me, but that's another story. But yeah, that's not what we said.
Let Debo play. All right.
That's not what we said. That's not even close to what I said. What I said was he missed 2 players and did not overcome, so it leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and it's no coincidence when they came back, they won out in blowout fashion. That's what I said. I didn't say he needs to sit. I didn't say he needs to sit everybody and show me he can win with everybody gone, but he missed 1 receiver, 1 lineman, and it didn't look the same. I seen Lamar lose half of offense and lead the AFC and be first place in the AFC. So, excuse me for that. Now, to answer your point about the Mr. Irrelevant thing, that's not why I'm doing that. I told y'all last year, this situation reminds me a lot of when he was at Iowa State with Breece Hall and an amazing defense. And I said he was able to flourish in that because he didn't have to do too much. Now, granted, he is playing better than I expected, and I will give him that. But I also said this situation reminds me of his situation in college, and they did really well in college because of it.
Hold up.
All right, y'all. Tomo called me and said, wrap it up. All right. So let's wrap this up, y'all. All right. We could be here all day. So look, let's get our last words in. I know you got a big game today, AJ, you and your Lakers. All right. But I'm going to kick it off. Commanders, man, just looking on offense. So all right. Looking on offense. We can keep every enemy. All right. So that's one thing. Sacramento, hey, OG. Try to reach out to my man. Try to get him. But appreciate y'all for coming on today, Carl, especially you last minute. AJ, you up yesterday. Appreciate you for coming on. Always a blast when you come on. Dave, you already know. Hashtag swipe a season like the bean. Go ahead, Carl.
Oh, shoot. I thought we was doing the host. All right. So, as always, appreciate y'all for having me. CTC will be airing tomorrow. I will be going over Navy, Army. It's going to be different. It's not going to be like my other previews. I'm not going to give 5 keys for each team because if you watch college football, if you watch Army, Navy, you know it's just going to be option all day. So the keys are going to be similar. So I'm going to just talk about it, probably pick a winner. I'm going to also talk about the awards show Saturday. I think they're giving out all the awards. I'm not sure. I know it's mainly based around the Heisman, so that's what you're going to really hear about the most. But I'm going to give my predictions of who I think will win each award that I see, like the Biletnikoff, the Davey O'Brien, the John Mackey, which obviously Bart Bowers. What is it? Ted Hendricks, stuff like that. I'm going to give my predictions on those. To the Iowa Hawkeyes, I got a bet on y'all. Y'all down like a dub, I think. Can y'all fight back for your boy? Pistons lose again. Probably going to reach 30 straight before I finally see a dub. And South Carolina lost last night. Tough loss on the road against Clemson. I'm tired of these Clemson boys, man. They beat us in football. They beat us in basketball. Gave us our first L in basketball. We had that game. Should have won that game, but it is what it is.
For my last words,
Let's come out to you, Dave. Go ahead.
shout out to the
Dave, you break it up. Let's go AJ first. You go last. Go ahead, AJ.
You want me to go?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, Dave.
For my last words, I just want to give a shout out to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Ricky Hatton and Diego Corrales, Michael Moore, and Yvonne Calderon have all been selected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So congratulations. That's my last words.
All right.
My last words is y'all know where to find me. Full time out up on you. Well, actually, we're having a hard time with YouTube right now. But it'll be up before Thursday's game. If you don't catch it on YouTube, always catch it every Wednesday, 6 or 7 Central Time. Y'all time, I think it's 7 to 8, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all make sure y'all check me out there. Obviously, follow me on my social media platforms. Always a pleasure to be here on the show. It's always fun to debate with y'all. I work for ESPN, as y'all all know. But if y'all ask me which platform I'd rather listen to, Refuse to Lose by far. You get real takes, you get honesty, you get objectiveness. You might not get it all the time from me, but you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And the chats are always busting, so y'all need to be in the chats. I highly recommend it. The Lakers, hey man, handle business, man. Get that NBA cup. Yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of it, but since y'all there, hey, you might as well handle business and get the cup. And to my Eagles, it's been a whole lot of disrespect. A whole lot of disrespect in the chats, with Refuse to Lose, with the major networks, towards my quarterback, towards my defense. I disrespect the defense too, because y'all ain't worth talking about. Let's just be honest. All right. About the receivers, about everybody. It's time for y'all to come out here and play some of y'all best ball to end the season. We got Dallas coming up. It's time to go to Dallas, send a message, knock Dak Prescott out of this MVP conversation, because I'm tired of him being in it. All right. Go to Dallas, handle your business, and end the season on the win streak. Let's go 15-2. Let's get the number 1 seed in the conference, which means the number 1 seed in the division. And let's handle, let's get to the Super Bowl, man. Let's handle our business. Let's rebound, respond, handle our business. But again, as always a pleasure coming on.
Thanks for the Eagles mumble sauce wings.
All right, y'all.
Well, this is coming in the chat.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.